Ahoy hoy, Captain Jessetattoo here. This is, what the heck is this called? Taverntalk, that's right. I almost forgot the name of my own damn podcast. Number 3. And today we got, as always, we got my mate Jetty there. He's muted at the moment, but he'll be back in a second. I think he's just getting a drink. And we got...
Ahoy hoy.
Oh, there he is. And, Dreadpiratedoug. Introduce yourself. Who are you? And why are you here?
I'm Dreadpiratedoug. I'm mostly a Twitter account. I do a little bit of streaming. If you've seen any of my stuff around, you may have seen a Athena's chest cake or the spreadsheet about the gold hoarders or the Race of Legends.
I have seen that cake.
I do random stuff.
You were the cake, huh?
Yeah, that was the first thing I did on my Twitter account back in November.
That's inspired me. I've been wanting one of those cakes ever since. You realize I've been wanting a chest cake ever since I seen that picture.
I can get you in touch with the girl that made it. She's very talented.
Huh. Interesting.
Very cool.
Very impressive.
I probably would actually take you up on that. I have plans. Obviously not anytime soon, but I have plans. I might use it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was amazing. I'll probably never eat cake again.
Do you still have some left over?
No, but it was so much cake. I can't even communicate how much cake this was. More cake than anyone. It was a lot of cake.
Cake.
Good times though.
Yeah, there's some crazy new things going on with food coming up in the Sea of Thieves, man. We got stoves.
Yeah.
Cooking coming. Yeah. For sure. So, races. This is what you're really known for. Today, man.
Yeah.
This morning, I got a frickin' email before I did my podcast thing, my captain's log this morning. I got this email and I looked at it, and who was at the top of the list? Who was that? Was it you?
It was the Race of Legends.
Well, who organizes the Race of Legends?
Yeah, no, it's my thing. Although we do have a lot of people that help out with building the fleet, especially, and it's a bit of a community-led thing. But yeah, it's been great. I have legendary first mates. I think I've got 5 or 6 of them. And they help me with, especially during the races, moving crews from ship to ship. They help sail the camera boat so that I can attempt to catch at least some of the action. Then, I mean, in terms of people that help and show up for the fleet, I mean, every week there's 10 to 15 people sailing around asking for boats. That's a huge part of the effort.
Are you the only one that does the recording, or do you have partners who do some recording and send you digital files?
We do have a little community of content creators, a few streamers and some YouTubers. We have a little folder where we all drop our raw footage in. And sometimes we'll take that and cut it up into videos, and because there is a lot of good footage that doesn't go out.
Because I was watching, I'm ashamed to admit, but the first time I caught you live was this last weekend. But I watched you jump from camera to camera. Yeah. You said you were jumping over to other mates' cameras. Now that was good action, man. That was really neat. How did you do that?
Yeah, I really want to expand that. I mean, I'm literally, I have hotkeys set up on my Stream Deck, and I'm literally just full-sizing their streams and switching over, in OBS.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly simple. Now, if they're not streaming, that's a whole other bag of worms from a technology perspective. But
without multiple friends at your house with multiple computers all hooked up, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually, and I really want to expand the production side of the Race of Legends. That's one of the big things that I want to build it into, is I want it to feel like you're watching, a sporting event. So I have ambitious plans, but it is challenging. You almost want people with experience running cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a good point right there in itself. Do you have now? for our sake right now, do you have any spoilers that you can give us about future content plans? Are they all going to be races? Do you have anything else in
Yeah, so we've got a couple things coming up that are going to be interesting. So this Saturday is going to be Rowboats.
Rowboats.
The Rowboats? Nice.
I mean, I don't fully understand why rowboats are so incredibly popular on Twitter, but I did a couple of different polls about this, and rowboats came out on top every time.
Yep.
So we're gonna do friggin' rowboats, guys.
I think it's
here we go.
And that's this Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, this is Saturday. Yeah.
Are you all full on the roster, or do you still have room?
No, not yet. Ooh. No, we've got a little room.
I'm kind of known for rowboats. It's the one true shout out I got from Joe Neat was about my rowboat video.
Ooh.
I put a bunch of snakes and dynamite, snakes and powder kegs in a rowboat as a GIF, and he thought it was pretty hilarious.
That's great.
But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing teams of 2.
Teams of 2. How does that work?
So what we're gonna have the ships of the 2 crews that are competing are gonna be parked outside Sharkbait Cove, and there's a little map if you go to RaceOfLegends.com.
I'll actually slap the map up on this podcast for the people watching on YouTube.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, so there's a little route. There's really only one good route kind of in and out of Sharkbait Cove, but you'll see when you look at it. You're going to go through the little tunnel on the way out, but there's going to be a mermaid gem in that on that little altar in the middle of Sharkbait Cove. And then you're going to have to row in there, get the gem, and then get back to your ship, and you got to dock your rowboat onto the ship with the gem on board to win.
And it's a two man on one rowboat.
Yep, swords only, no gunpowder barrels. We're gonna go through so many rowboats.
So you're going to be having an opportunity, if lucky, to fight other people on their rowboats. Maybe if you guys both get to the gems at the same time. Is it one gem or multiple gems?
Just one.
Okay. And you have to
so it's a race to get the gem, and then you're fighting for the gem to get it back.
Yeah, little PvP element in there.
Oh, okay.
Two people on a rowboat. One's rowing, and one's hopefully trying to fight the other.
Fight, navigate. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of. It's one of those things where I have no idea how this is going to work. Like, it could be really cool and fun, or it could be a complete disaster. We'll find out Saturday.
I
think that's the fun of content, isn't it? Just kind of figuring out what works.
Like last weekend in the final round, the ship, I forget the crew's name. You have to refresh my memory. Iron Victory got sunk by the Kraken. It was heartbreaking.
It was in the last race. It was at the end of the last race, and they were in a dead heat.
They were salty. They were very salty. With all rights to be.
Heartbreaking.
It was brutal.
Have you thought about doing any foot races?
Actually, well, we have
the Cannonball Run.
So that's right, the Cannonball Run on Smuggler's Bay.
Yes, that's the closest thing we've come to a foot race.
That looks so much fun.
Easily the thing in my life that I'm the worst at. I've never made it more than a quarter of the way around Smuggler's Bay without getting absolutely annihilated by cannons.
I'm sure it's hard. How many people are on the cannons? All 4 of them?
We have 4 people on the cannons, and they each have 10 cannonballs. No cursed cannonballs, because that is super OP.
I'm sure. I did see the video that Twitter, I think it was, of the Smuggler's Bay run, and holy crap, that looks hard. It looks fun.
It is.
And so, is it from the top of the arch around the island to the top of the arch on the other side?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, you got to go in a full circle, and you have to stay on the beach.
Yeah, people don't make it very far usually.
I mean, a surprising number of people made it around. I just never have.
It was yours I was watching then.
Right, yeah, you saw me getting annihilated. Other people were making more than half. I'm just terrible at it. Apparently.
I got a really good idea for you, mate. Something me and some of my mates do for fun quite often is the chest of 1,000 grog races.
Oh, yeah, that is
carrying that thing and trying to get somewhere with it, dude, it's insanity. It's so fun and so unpredictable.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a great and not
drunken
to mention
foot races, man.
I think now would be the perfect opportunity, considering that we have the Gilded Missions.
Yep.
Or the Gilded Voyages.
Yeah, it's easy to get a bunch of them in a row. It's true.
Yeah, it's absolutely easy to get a bunch of them, and I don't really know where the perfect spot is. I know Daggertooth, really long stretch of that dock right there that leads straight down the beach to the gold hoarders. I think that's a good spot for a race. Not to mention it's super hard to get across that entire dock without falling off. And if you do, then if you come up on the wrong side of the beach, then you're stuck behind a bunch of barrels because of that rock formation.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea at all. That would be a ton of fun. I've thought about, like, in my head, there's going to be, like, someday, like, a pirate decathlon, and there's going to be, you know, you're going to, maybe even, like, a survivor challenge type thing where, like, you know, you got to run over here and get the grog barrel from here to here, and then you got to go over here and blow up the gunpowder barrel, you know, with, it's like a marksmanship test, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good idea.
Endless possibilities.
Almost like a course or something.
Yeah.
Like an obstacle course,
like an obstacle course.
What about you could even do sports, really. Like you were talking about getting the gem and having the gem delivered to a specific location. A really cool idea would be almost like some hardcore Pirate Cutlass a rugby.
Though there's some Skullball crews out there already.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually.
I'll have to get them on the podcast here eventually, but there is some sports teams out there already. Skullball.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to somebody just before I got on here that knows that whole community. So I'm gonna hopefully be getting to know the Skullball guys. I bet there's a lot I could learn from them.
Yeah,
about how to pull this stuff off.
Pass that information down the line when you get it, mate.
Yeah,
I'd love to have
one.
We can work something out. Another cool thing that maybe to consider is we don't know what's coming yet, but with pets, they have mentioned quite of interaction that will be possible between pirate and pet, even other pirates and pet. And I know you can load them into cannons, or at least that's what they want us to do.
Yeah, Joe said that you can shoot them out of cannons.
Yes.
Yeah, they follow you. They supposedly they interact, or supposedly, I would assume that they would be able to interact with the world around you. Maybe they'll be able to light rocks and, you know, dodge skeletons. And maybe they'll die from cannonballs and end up bury the dam just like. But I think there's potential for some races involving pets as well.
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Like chicken runs or something. Oh my god.
Chicken runs or cat runs or something. Yeah.
I know
maybe,
that.
If you listen to this, Rare, which I don't think you do, but you might, please make animals a sporting event somehow.
Yeah, like punt the pig or something. Maybe you can toss a pig.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do with all this, man. It's crazy town. What they could do, what they will do.
On the old pigskin.
I think it's gonna be pretty simple. I think we're gonna get pets, and then we're going to get a bunch of different skins for it. I really hope that skins are going to be something that you can earn in-game, just like tattoos and stuff, and customizations. Like, if you want skeletal skin for your pet, you got to do a crazy skeleton quest or something, you know? I hope that it's like that a little bit, so that you may have to buy the initial cat or the initial bird or whatever initial animal you want, but you can get some of the cool things in-game from quests, events, just like everything else, like the sales that said that you were there.
Parrot.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's, you know, we can all speculate at this moment, but I think that when they do release microtransactions, of course we know it's going to be pets right off the bat, and I'm sure they'll be able. It might right off the bat, it might just be a list. We might not even have options that are really, you know, deep. We might not have deep options. It might just be a small list of cat skins, parrot skins, monkey skins, pig skins. Who knows what options they're going to be. I think that there is definitely room for update and improvement as time goes on, and they may add the ability to buy skin packs, maybe clothing packs for pet, you know, eye patch, hat. And I think that if they get enough feedback from the community, maybe enough people like us, enough content creators asking for, you know, pigskin ball and rat races or cat races or cat chases mouse, you know, something like that. If enough people ask, I'm sure Rare could implement a simple mechanic where we can do some sort of sports activities with our pets. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's not really an advantage in making money. You're not making any money off of this. It's just entertainment.
Time will tell with pets, but I think that they're going to try to do some fun things with them and make them fun for us.
Yeah. They've been on the back burner for a while. They've had plenty of time to work.
Yep.
Oh, I think we lost Jetty.
Oh, yeah, I think we did.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
Jetty!
No! Oh,
there he is. He's back.
What happened? I lost again.
Yeah, you cut out halfway through your thing, I think. You just went silent real quick.
Oh, well, no, I was just saying I think that they've been working on the pets for a while. Yeah. And I think they've had plenty of time to improve and work on different mechanics. So.
Oh yeah, I got high hopes for the pets, man. I'm willing to pay for it too. Like people are like, oh, I don't want to pay money for this game. You know what? I paid whatever $70 for this game or something, and I've had a friggin' year's worth of fun like no other. And,
yeah,
you know,
I'm willing to support the game.
I'm willing to throw them $9 a pet or whatever, $10 a pet or whatever it's going to be. I mean, as long as it's
after what I spent for the controller.
Yeah. Oh, did you buy one of those things?
I did recently.
Oh, pardon me.
I just had that set. I got to get that sword, that ferryman sword.
Oh,
that's
man.
what it's all about.
I want the merciless. I want the mercenary set so much. So my theme is green.
Yeah.
I love green.
They're giving it out to everybody, Jetty. They heard everybody freaking out. Yeah, they heard everybody freaking out about that, and they said they're going to give it to everybody because it wasn't fair.
For it, but you know what? If they're going to give it out for free, that's fine.
Yeah, in March. Yeah, you can get it with gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way it should be. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts actually on speaking of giving out weird merch and stuff? Like, what about that Joanna Dark headdress that you got from ordering? Jetty, I know you were one of the men that bought that shirt to get that exclusive headdress. Now they're going to be selling that in game. What do you think about this? Is that bull crap or is it meh? Is it okay?
Well, it's a very touchy subject because a lot of people have different opinions. I spend a lot of my time on Reddit. Actually, I spend about 12 hours on Reddit when I'm at work because
you can read silently.
Yeah, I hope my work doesn't listen to this. But on work hours, I have my back, have Reddit update the page every once in a while. I just want to see what the community is talking about. What's issues? What are the bugs? What are some things that people want? And I get a really good thrill out of seeing what people have to say. And there's a lot of good stuff on Reddit. And one of the things that I see a lot of people saying is that they don't want limited exclusive stuff to be available to the community. If people feel like if they've bought something or if they've earned something, that they believe it should be for them alone. But my thing is, I get where people are coming from. I paid for this, I bought that, I did this event, I should be the only one with this item. It's not fair that you're giving it out. And you know what? They're already doing it for the mercenary set. There's not much more I can say about that. If I had it my way, and that's not saying much, I'm a nobody, but if I had it my way, I wish they didn't do any exclusives. I have no problem with Bildrat's limited gear. I think the Bildrat gear should be the.
Now, are you talking like what about people who are bitching? Sorry to interrupt, but like what about people that are bitching? I've read a petition recently. Somebody tagged me in some pretty stupid post. Pardon me if you're listening, fella, but I don't agree with you. About wanting to bring back the skeleton ship things because they didn't get the cosmetics during that time, and they're freaking out they didn't get those cosmetics, and they want it back, and they wanted us to stand up for them. And I'm like, no, that was a time-limited event. You can't go back and get the Hungering One tattoos if you weren't there. You didn't earn it.
No, that's the point. See, I don't think out-of-game exclusive should be a thing, and I know a lot of people would disagree, but the thing is, a lot of out-of-game exclusives are very much exclusive from a larger community than the. Because look at the the stuff that they'll hand out at the tables that they have set up. The developers will be sitting there signing things, talking to people, and they would give out a card, and this card would have a limited exclusive.
eBay people were selling that.
Yeah, people were selling it, and I don't think that's quite fair because people who can't go don't have access. At least with Bildrat time-limited items, if you're available during the event, then you can get. It's in game. So you don't have to be anywhere special in order to be. You don't have to be anywhere special. You don't have to do any special event outside of the game. You know, it's fair because if you own the game, then you have the potential chance of earning that. I think that's the extent of it. Because I think if you want to keep your community together and you want your community to be happy and proud of what they've, have it be something that they did in game. I mean, I spent 3 hours picking my pirate, right? At least let me have some sort of let me figure out what I want to feel pride for my character. I want my character.
Don't even get me started on picking pirates. Actually, hold on. Right. I want to interrupt you on that note. Actually, there's a really good thing. I heard recently, a rumor anyway, that apparently they're going to potentially give us a second pirate slot or something of the customization ability to maybe re-roll our pirates.
Gets a chance without really ruining your progress.
Yeah, maybe either a re-roll or maybe even just a second pirate. I don't know. But
I would imagine they would just give you an ability to re-roll and go back into the random pirate generator and pick a new dude if you want.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer a re-roll or a second slot without losing progress?
I don't know. Me personally, I'm pretty attached to my avatar, and I wouldn't do it either way. If I did want to change it, honestly, I like the idea of you having one identity, and even going back to the cosmetic stuff, I like the idea of like, oh, they have that tattoo, and that means they've done that, and they have that belt, and that means they've done that, and like, especially most of us like to mix up the outfits from different sets. Like, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's one of the neat things about the game. But yeah, me personally, I'm pretty attached to my avatar. I would say, re-roll your pirate maybe once a month or something.
Jesse's
maybe do whatever you want.
I got fan art of my guy, man. He's too weird looking now. I can't. I've embraced him.
I mean, if we could have an opportunity to change anything, I would probably. So what I was going for with my pirate was I wanted him to have the biggest schnauzer I could find. Right, that was my goal when I was looking for a pirate. If he doesn't have a big nose, not really. So
awesome. Your guy is kind of weird. He's got some weird body shapes.
So he's super awkward.
He's a strange shape.
Oh my god!
You have a long body.
Times I've encountered players in the game who I'll walk up onto their ship, or we'll be in the middle of combat. They'll be slicing me with a sword, and then they'll stop and look at me, and they'll be like, "Why is your torso so? Why are your legs so short?"
You're like Popeye. Popeye's proportions? You look like Popeye the Sailor Man proportion.
Yeah, my guy's got huge forearms, a super long torso, super short legs. He's got a huge nose, giant ears, and he's skinny. He's super skinny, not the skinniest body type, but he's super skinny, and I love his awkwardness. But if I had the option to correct anything on my pirate, it would be to give him a bigger nose.
Nice.
I think I could do better. I think I could get him a bigger nose. But I think personally, I would like to see a second slot, just because I would like to see what options I can get. But sure. without me losing my one pirate, I wouldn't be against having another pirate to start progress on without having to buy the game on a new account.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that is tempting.
For me, one of the things that really bummed me out in the long, like I've accepted my pirate and I like my avatar now. I love my dude.
Even his inner tubes?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the clothing. That's a whole other story. Clothing on fat guys is something that really triggers me. Anyway, one of the main reasons I picked the pirate that I currently have is because of the tattoos that he had. My name is Jessetattoo, and I wanted a very heavily tattooed pirate. And at the time, you couldn't change your tattoos. You could only pick whatever the roster... They gave you tattoos very shortly after, but at launch, it was just what was in that roster. So for me, it was like a white-ish looking fat guy that had dark hair and a lot of tattoos. And that was pretty much my only requisite. And that took me 3 hours to find. I hate that. I hate that carousel thing. I can't stand it.
Oh, and the tattoo set that they took from you in order to add more tattoos to the game, it's not even in... I
know. My old character had a giant skull and crossbones in the middle of my chest, and I was so choked. In the beta, I had that, and as soon as it went live, they took it away from me, and I even wrote them an email, and they got back to me telling me that I was going to be able to customize it and bring that one back soon, and they never did.
I think there's room for Rare to add more tattoos as well as more scars.
I've been pitching a tattoo shop idea for a long time.
Yeah.
I want a tattoo shop in the game. You have to go to there to change your tattoos. You can't just do it at a clothing thing.
I'm waiting for jewelry and piercings, man. Jewelry and piercings.
Jewelry, I think, will come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting my
pictures there's pictures of the pirate legend with his ring, talking about some legendary jewelry. There's that Wanda necklace during the Wanda skeleton event. They show gems and stuff. We're getting some gems now from the mermaid statues. I truly believe jewelry and stuff is coming down the road. It's part of the long-term
sorry
game.
to interrupt you, but just want to get us back on track here.
We're getting way off left field.
Way off track. So, Captain Doug, back to your races. What was the initial inspiration for your idea of races? What got you doing that? What got you recording it?
God, it's easy to get off track. Sorry.
Yeah,
go on.
What is your inspiration on it?
So the kind of the seed of the idea came from there's literally an achievement in the game for racing.
Yes.
And it's basically just sailing next to another ship without firing on them. Which, by the way, I didn't get that achievement until like race 4 of the Race of Legends. So
weird.
There's something wrong.
Some sort of lag, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that was kind of where the idea originally came from. And then it was, my goal for the races has always been, I want it to be about who handles their ship the best. And there's other stuff that goes on, and there's the randomness of the Sea of Thieves, and there's nothing you can do about that. But for me, I wanted to figure out a way to make people handle their ships really, really well. And so that's like, so when you leave Smuggler's Bay, you go to Golden Sands. At Golden Sands is where you have an opportunity for PvP, because each member of your crew has to drink a full tankard of grog in the tavern, obviously without dying. So if you get a lead, of course, you can get there, drink, and leave. Crews will, you can drop your anchor, and there's a risk-reward thing going on there. Because if you drop your anchor and you go on shore and one of you dies in a fight, it's no big deal for them to respawn and come back to the tavern. You can keep your ship going. You can set your ship on course and have everybody jump off one at a time and go into the tavern and drink. But if the other team is in there, they're going to pick you off one at a time, and your ship is going to be super far away, and you're going to be screwed. Kind of a similar thing. Yeah, like there's kind of some strategy to it. We did have one team that tried to suicide bomb the tavern. They got there first and drank their grog, and the rest of the team left, and they hid in there with a gunpowder barrel. It was a really good idea. But she used the fuse instead of like hitting it with her sword, and so you can see in the video the whole team runs in there, and then the whole
and they all run out. Yeah,
and then she blows up in the tavern.
yeah, that was good.
But yeah, anyway, so you have to go to Hidden Spring Keep from there. The whole team has to be dead at the same time, and then they can all respawn back onto their ship. So it's about forcing the crew to be separate from their ship, starts and stops. It's not just, we have to go there and then we have to come back. I wanted to make it a little more interesting. And then you got to get back to Smuggler's Bay. You got to light the beacon, and that's how you win.
Right.
But yeah, so that for me, and I still firmly believe this, like you have cursed cannonballs, and no one's going to argue that they're not a factor. But I will say, I've obviously watched every single one of these races very carefully. Cursed cannonballs don't make as big of a difference as you think most of the time. Now, every now and then a ballast ball sinks the other team, and that is pretty clutch. I think that's only happened once. Actually, and that team won that race. That was amazing. But yeah, no, it's about handling your ship better. That's really what it comes down to. And honestly, you would be amazed at the number of crews that are in a race and they go off course. Even just for a couple of minutes, they veer to the left, they veer to the right. They make a bad decision about going around an island. We have crews hit islands every single week. Right. It's handling your ship in the game is challenging, and I wanted to find a way to find the crew, like who out there is actually the best at handling and sailing their ship. And I think the Race of Legends answers that.
Would you, so I know you do a lot of races with 2 people, 2 crews, 3 crews, however many crews involved. Have you ever thought about doing a time lapse where you have a crew under fire making a run, and they have to get best time while under fire. They cannot fire back at the ships, but they can be fired at. It might kill them. It might knock them off their ship. They have to repair the ship in the process, and they have to get from point A to point B.
That's hard, though.
Time limit.
I like the idea, but you have to have ships like waiting along a route
or following.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. The stuff with it gets challenging with supplies when you want to run a bunch of those back to back. But no, that's an interesting idea.
Or having like a specific a brig chasing and harassing a ship the whole time. They can't fight back, but they're allowed to defend them. Like they're allowed to board up and keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's the thing: you would just have, like, let's say sloops are a perfect example because they're small and maneuverable. You have a sloop at the start.
Oh, pardon me.
Have it loaded up. You have it loaded with, however many cannons and, well, not cannonballs. You have it loaded up with however many planks and bananas that you want that ship, and that will be the amount that every ship gets at the start of the race. You'll have a sloop that will be right next to him at the start of the race, and they will both drop their sails at the exact same time. And the harasser will follow racer, firing cannonballs, maybe just trying to make a commotion. Who knows what will be available? I guess that's up to the person setting up. And then all they have to do is just, defend themselves, their planks and their bananas. And if they die, they have to try and get back on the boat quickly to steer back on course and get to location B, And then you have the second to show up, have the ship ready to go for them, loaded up with supplies to the same amount as the previous crew, and they have to try and beat that time. Who knows? Maybe somebody could be completely thrown off by an entire minute. Maybe they'll be really close, only within seconds apart from each other.
Yeah, I like the offense and defense in that. That could be really cool. I have a lot of ideas, some of which I like a lot, and I'm gonna do as soon as they come out with private servers. Because the reality is we can't build a fleet more than once a week. It's just not practical. So we can build that fleet. It just takes too long, and it's just too much to ask of people in terms of time. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to ask to get people together for 4 hours on a Saturday.
I'm actually impressed at the work that goes in ahead of time. Like, I know that you set up for like 3 to 4 hours ahead of time to make sure that you can do this, and even then, sometimes it's cutting it close.
Yeah, no, sometimes it is, and we've started 3.5 late, had to start a half hour late. It's it just is what it is. They've said, Joe and the other guys have said that private servers are coming eventually. I understand that it's probably not a huge priority, but boy, would it make stuff like this.
Because it is strictly for content creators, right? Like, it is, that's really going to be for, like, me, Falcor, you, the people that actually make, like, machinima-style video game movies, if you will. We make events in-game.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so great. And I'd love to be able to toggle off the Kraken. Boy, that'd be nice.
It would be,
we'll see. The next big thing that we've got going on right now is the March Madness tournament, which is going to start in about 2 weeks. It's going to be a month-long single elimination tournament, and then we're going to have a pretty awesome prize that I actually haven't announced anywhere yet. But I am pretty excited about it. If I can go ahead and announce it now, if you guys.
I was just going to say, can you give us a hint?
I mean, I haven't. I've told a couple of friends, but I haven't actually talked about what the prize is going to be.
Fire away! Give us some goods, man. Let's give us the download.
Let's hear it.
So, not super shockingly, but I'm going to be getting 4 of the captain skulls from the Etsy store. I just totally blanked on the guy's name. Nerd Propellant. Thank you.
Yes.
We're going to have 4 of them.
Awesome.
That are going to go to the winning crew.
Beautiful.
I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Very good.
And it's going to be our standard course that we've been using: the Smuggler's Bay, Golden Sands, Hidden Spring Keep.
Mr. Captain Doug, why don't you continue to keep that secret between you and your fans? And
it's too late. It's on the podcast, man. It's too late.
No, that's what I mean. Secret. And send them this way. have them listen to the podcast to find out what it is that they're going to get.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down, yeah.
Say, look, if you guys want to
totally
find out about the new thing, you got to go check out the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, I'll give them a couple days, and then I'll start tweeting about it. But
one of the things I
like
really liked about when I first found out about how you did your route, because I actually had only caught whispers of it until I actually went to your site and looked at the route and what you actually have to do. And you know what it reminds me of 100%? As somebody that's rode a motorcycle a good portion of his life, it's a goddamn poker run.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't understand what a poker run is, it's basically you go to a place, you drink, you get a card, you go to the next place, you drink, you get a card, or, well, maybe you don't drink, maybe you just get a card, whatever. And then you get, at the end, you get a poker hand, and it's just an excuse for a bunch of bikers to go for a ride and do this run. And it's fun, right? And this is like a poker run / race with pirates. And I love it, man. I love it. And the fact that you have to go and drink at the tavern and then go get killed on shore at this other place, and like it all reminds me of that so much. I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's a very similar concept. It's an excuse to get people out there sailing and to find out who can handle their ship best.
Yeah.
And people get
navigation.
And navigation, and people get really stressed out about like exactly how the cursed cannonballs are going to work, and the Kraken thing was tough, but like other people, it's like, we didn't get a good start, or like the wind shifted. Like, listen, the sea is a cruel mistress, as we all know. We've all been there. We've all had heartbreaking moments. And the other thing too is we've had crews sink and still win the race. That's happened twice.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard you talk about it enough that I gotta find it. Which number was that? Do you recall offhand?
I think that was week 2 or 3.
You got the highlights. Is it mentioned in the highlights at least?
I believe so.
I'll
have to go back and check them all out anyway.
I gotta remember.
Who's to blame for that is the rare gods. Our good friend. Our good friend Fuzzy Bond, he says that everything that happens in the game is due in part to the rare gods in the sky. And if the wind shifts, it's because of the rare gods may or may not be in your favor. And
another variation of the Whale Lord.
yeah, exactly.
Hail the Whale Lord, or Giga Crab, or whoever it is that you people out there worship.
Yeah, you can worship whoever you want. I don't judge.
That's right. We're accepting of all religions on the Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have a new route that I'm working on that I'm going to announce at the end of the March Madness tournament. Cool. And I want to stick with one route for basically, I'm calling it a season. So we're going to have a Race of Legends champion every week, and then you're going to have a Race of Legends grand champion, and there's probably only going to be 2 or 3 of those a year. We'll be seeding the tournament according to their times. We have world records. The world record on the current course is, I believe, 17 minutes and 25 seconds.
Wow.
The Red Dogs, they actually blew away their own record a couple of weeks ago.
Cool.
For them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're really good. They've won we're going to be doing week 8. I think they've won 4. Yeah, they've won 4. They've won every time they've competed. The ones they haven't won, they weren't there.
I am currently disconnecting from the chat. I'm getting some bad signals, so I'm just gonna step off real quick, and I'll be dragged right back in.
Right on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, me and Jetty there, I kind of voluntold him that we're gonna do the sloop races when that happens, because me and him sloop a lot together.
So bad. I want to do that so bad. I really want to do 2v2 sloop races, but regular sloop races. Actually, week 1 we did sloop races because that was all we had. We had 2 sloops and a brig, and that was week 1 of the Race of Legends. Was pretty humble. But we had 2 crews, and we had a couple streamers there, and we got it done.
Cool.
It was a good time. It was chaotic. It's still a little chaotic.
You back, Jetty?
Forget.
Yep, I'm right here.
Hey,
I was just telling him that I kind of voluntold you that we are going to try to get in the sloop races when he gets those going.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, I just have to get my Xbox set up, and
it'll be like a while, like when you're back from your thing there, like in a month or so. But
my trip. Yeah, exactly.
All right, in time, my man. We'll do it.
Yeah, there's no rush. As long as he's doing the events, then we'll eventually be there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll keep doing this for a long time. At least that's the plan.
Super cool. Man. So, did you know that you were going to be put on that, what is that news thing called? God dang it.
The Pirate Times.
Yes.
Yeah, so they posted that to the website like a week or two ago, but then they really just like tweeted it once or twice, and then they sent out the email today. I had no idea that I was going to be on. Well, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be in the Pirate Times, and then I had no idea they were sending out an email. I'd like 10 or 15 people join my Discord this morning, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Nice. Yeah, look, I just noticed the date on that. It's January 30th. Come on, Rare. That's 21 days late.
I know.
I just got an email this morning. Oh, weird.
Yeah, they got it out though.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was exciting. They had like a forum thread, and submit your stuff for ideas. Actually, it wasn't my idea. It was somebody in my Discord who was like, "Hey, we should put the Race of Legends on this forum thread." So I just jumped over and dropped in some stuff. It was great.
Now, just curious here. I don't know if this is the same. You have a person on your Discord that's part of your race team there named Owl?
Yeah, that's true.
Is that the same person that's doing the dating thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
the dating Tinder.
Thing. Tinder! There be a pirate dating. Oh my god.
Man, that
for those who don't know what that
is.
So give us a rundown on what that is for those who
Okay. So Owl is very talented pirate. Athena's 10, pirate legend. She's a dynamite sailor, but Owl decided to create a Tinder account for her pirate, and so she did, and guys would match with her at what I understand to be an astounding rate, a surprisingly high rate, and it's just pictures of her avatar, obviously, from the game, and a couple of screenshots of her avatar. And then, she would message back and forth with these guys, and some played along.
I hope she was in full pirate talk the whole time.
Oh, 100%. No, she never broke character at all. I mean, she was very positive and polite, and was very, just talking about pirate stuff and very specific stuff to Sea of Thieves, of course.
Beautiful.
I don't think she ran into any guys that actually know the game, which is a real heartbreaker. But there's some really entertaining stuff in there.
There's an article about it on the Pirate Times as well, and that's what caught my interest. And I was like, wait a second, I wonder if it's the same Owl, and it is. That's beautiful.
It is hilarious.
Hopefully there was no negative outcome from that.
Not to my knowledge. I'm sure that she probably got a lot more messages than the one she posted, if I had to guess. I would imagine she had to censor those, but I don't know for sure. Hopefully it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, right on. I would think that's a great idea.
It's really funny stuff.
It's good stuff. It's funny for sure. I'm glad people. That's the thing that surprises me the most about this game is how it brings people out of the woodworks and the creatives, the things that it does, the people, the content creators, the artists, the crafters, just the weird things people are doing for this game that have, it's astounding. It blows my mind.
I did a Pirate Legend resume, whatever that is, but people loved it. It was, I like the content creators that fall into like the other category, like somebody like Owl, like she's not like a streamer or a YouTuber specifically. But like she
got
has
noticed.
her own brand of content. Yeah, she definitely did, and like she has her own brand of content. And there's a ton of people out there. I mean, the guys that are 3D printing and painting these amazing skulls, and the one girl on Twitter that made these built this incredible ship model.
Oh, the models.
I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
There's one guy on Reddit. I think he was posting it in more than one place, but I saw it on Reddit. He made a mini out of like pop sticks and foam, and it was pinpoint accurate. It was so accurate to what the tavern looked. And
the rare gods are chopping up your vocals pretty good there, Jetty.
How do I sound now? Hello?
Yeah, you're good. You're just getting cutting in and out.
there was a guy who made a tavern out of pops, sticks, and foam, like a mini terrain piece.
Really? Oh, I love mini like action figure sets and stuff.
Yeah, but I think it was more of like
little dioramas
something you'd expect somebody to see for like Dungeons and Dragons. You know, it was like one of those terrain pieces that could be used on a like a battle map. You know?
Let me see if I can find it here. Wow, I can't spell for crap. If you know me by now, I'm a terrible typer. Cool. Well, I can't find it right away, but I will look later. I know I've seen some 3D renders and stuff.
I'll see if I can find it. If I find it, I'll send you a picture.
Cool.
Maybe you can put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'll post it on the stream if I find it on time. I know there is there's also another artist that's making like tavern signs and ship signs out of like foam craft, and they're beautiful. I don't want to say they're pricey, but I asked for one and I got kind of a high price tag on the one I asked for, but I kind of wanted a big one too, right? So I'm thinking about it. I'm really trying to think if I can really spend that much money on a prop like that. But I kind of wouldn't mind. The captain's log logo, you know. And I think if there was anybody out there that was going to do it, that'd be the one. She's pretty talented.
It's amazing.
Yep. All right, so we're getting close to the time here. Any final words there, Mr. Doug?
Boy.
How do people find you?
Oh yeah, hey, I'm at Dreadpiratedoug on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I'm Dreadpiratedoug pretty much everywhere else. If you go to Twitter, you can find a link to my Discord. If you go to raceoflegends.com, you can find all the information about our standard Race of Legends course, and then of course rowboats that are coming up this week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, and of course anybody who thinks they actually have what it takes to compete with some really good crews, jump on over and register for a race. I've got registration open up until and including the March Madness tournament.
And that's on your .com, yes?
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll make sure to put the links and stuff to all this below in the description of this video.
Awesome.
Wherever this is going to be. Probably just on YouTube. I don't really do any... Maybe one of these days I'll get onto one of those podcast places and stick it up there as well. But for now, it's been just on YouTube.
Cool. Yeah, this has been great. I really appreciate you having me. This has been awesome.
It was actually kind of amazing timing. Like, it was just sort of... It just meant to be, I suppose, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's good having you on board. Yeah, so everybody out there, if you're watching this, listening to this, don't forget to follow Dreadpiratedoug, Captain Doug on Twitter and on his YouTube channel, and be sure to watch his content. It's really good. Obviously, you know Jessetattoo. Don't forget to subscribe to him.
Ooh, yeah.
Follow him on Twitter as well, and just make sure you guys keep up to date on all this stuff. There's a lot more coming to the game, and we're really looking forward to it. I think a better community would be a community of content creators combined, you know. So I think that we're going in the right direction.
Ooh, I don't want to say anything, but something's coming like that.
It.
Something's coming like that. That's all I can say for now. Something.
Yeah, it's a partnership. We're all of us content creators got to stick together, and I think it makes for better. So
I agree.
Absolutely. Good on us.
Agreed.
Everybody take a bow. Take a bow. As you can, everybody can see a bow on a podcast, you know.
Bow emoji.
Bow emoji.
I'm doing it right now.
There you go.
I'm bowing.
Thanks again, everybody. And I got to figure out a good sign out. I've never done. I'm a little bit new to this podcast thing. I can tend to drag it on at the very end here, and it'd be like, yeah, thanks again. So anyway, I'm just gonna.
Gotta be pirate.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it off.
Arrgh, have a nice day and see you on the seas or something silly. I don't know.
Yeah, Jetty said it. Let's just leave it at that. We'll see you next time, folks. Cheers.